welcome
Yeah,
back
go
to
ahead.
another edition of Global Book Network. My name is Flobo Boyce, and as always, on this show, we sit with authors who are doing fantastic things by putting pen to paper. On today's episode, we're talking about a story about someone who comes to a foreign land and tries to make their way. Please welcome the author of The Illegal. What a title. We'll ask her about that. Miss Nadya Dukhina. How's it going?
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to meet you as well. Uh, so yes, what do you mean by saying by asking how is it going?
Well, there's a lot of things to
Being
interpret.
an author?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you talk about your book, The Illegal. When I came across my
Right.
desk, I was like, wow, that's pretty heavy. That's very intentional, given today's climate.
No,
Talk
believe
to
it.
me about how you named your story today.
Oh, that's really nice. So basically, why I wrote this book uh, is because most of Americans look at illegal immigrants as uh, people who cross borders and uh, work on some law, like illegally, basically. And I just wanted all Americans to know that the other side of that illegal. So that not only people who cross the border illegally, right, and do illegal stuff, but there are also a lot of educated people, and that's what I wanted, basically American people to know that it's not like all so bad. Mhm.
No, absolutely. And so I guess the question I have is here is a biographical-esque story that is fiction, but here's the opportunity that could have been nonfiction. What was the decision to make this a fictional account using original characters?
I mean, it's basically, let's say 70% are, uh, biographical. And I don't know, I made it fiction.
Yeah, no,
I don't even know.
sometimes the inspiration just strikes the way that you do. And so talk
Mhm.
to me about your upbringing first as an author. You came to this country in when you were a kid, from Russia, yes?
Not a kid, I was like 23 years old.
That's young for me. I mean, I'm an old man.
Oh, come on. I don't think so.
Well, thank you.
Of course.
And so
Uh,
the changing of the culture must have been a shock for you as a
it was a shock, yes. And I came here as a student. I was studying in Massachusetts, so pretty much like in my book, and it was. And then when I graduated, I really fell in love with America, so I decided to stay here. And after a couple of years, I became illegal, and it was a very scary thing for me because I was worried. What if police will come somewhere, and they will find out that I'm illegal, and they would send me back. But before they would send me back to Russia, they will first send me to a prison for several months because it's a crime. So yes, eventually I'm a citizen now, but it was a very, very long path.
Yeah. Yeah, I was born here, but my parents are immigrants, and it definitely is something that you think
From
about.
where?
Barbados. They're from the West Indies, the
Ah,
Caribbean.
I see.
And
Hmm.
it was one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying my new surroundings, but there's that kind of like fear that it can like end at any moment. And it does weigh
It
on
does.
people that want to be here the most. It in
Hmm.
the craft of your book. Talk to me about how it came together. Did you write when inspiration struck? Did you try to spend time out here to write chapter per chapter? What was your writing process like?
Well, I wrote several chapters before, and then it took me a while because I was busy with work and everything. And then I wrote the rest in a few months. And yeah, I had inspiration, but basically, towards the end, I had a really good inspiration. I would wake up in the morning, have my breakfast, go to another room where I have a desk and write until like 9 p.m. without any food, anything. And yeah, it's like uh, when you write the book, it's basically it feels like the book writes itself uh, because you type everything. It feels like I just yeah got this inspiration and like I was watching the movie.
It was like a full-time job then, like 8, 10 hours a day, just
Yeah,
writing and
yes, I mean it takes a long time,
yeah.
definitely.
That's surreal. I can imagine. I could not imagine doing that. Like I said like 1 hour time, like, whoa, hard work, but like you committing the entire day, that's commendable. And it does show because what I realized in the advanced copy that we got that a lot of the characters you created go through the ringer. It's kind of like this mixture of fear and hatred and paranoia. How'd you keep so many different strands of story together when you were crafting it?
uh, you know, I don't know. How did I keep it together? I Yeah, there were certain chapters that I didn't like, and I would rewrite it. Uh, but how I kept it together, I don't even know.
Well,
It
I
was
noticed sometimes you had some of the
it wasn't hard.
yeah,
Mhm.
yes, yeah, the subplots about just being discovered and some of the love stories and finding yourselves an
Uh,
identity. It was a lot going on.
I mean, yeah, of course, there are certain chapters that it was really hard to write them. When really bad things happen to the main character, predicaments, and yes, and yeah, these chapters, it would take me like a really long time to finish them, and because the book is written in the first person, so it was kind of hard. It felt like it was basically happening to me, not even the chapters that were not happening to me. So yeah,
Yeah. I,
uh,
I I grew up in Brooklyn, and it was kind
nice.
of interesting to see or read my hometown being described as the way you wrote it out there. Talk to
Where in
me,
Brooklyn?
Flatlands, so on the Midwood side,
Oh,
southeast
wow.
corner. New York City was loud in your book. It was noisy in your book. Talk to me about how you crafted that kind of detail to get across how disorienting it could be for a character who arrives the first time.
Well, I felt like in my mind all the characters they were like real people, and uh, basically, I mean, all of my friends read the book, and some characters are like really like real people. I mean, they look like real people, and it was yeah. I felt like every time I was writing it, I would just get like dissolved in this, in my drafts, and I felt like those were like real people. And this is amazing. I even had dreams when my characters are talking to me. So yes,
Whoa, what is
my
that like? What is that like when one of your characters actually talks to you or makes itself apparent in your dream? That's be pretty surreal.
actually it makes it so real. Yes, exactly. And yeah, if characters basically are recognized by actually people who who I created, taken from real people. And yes, it's an interesting process because I know that you need to know everything about your characters. You need to know every single little thing. Let's say if you ask your character whether they want to skydive, you need to know what they would respond. It's I mean, it's a lot of work, of course,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it.
I'm
Mhm.
an author myself. My last book was nonfiction, but most of them were fiction. And my process is I always try to write like little character drafts of everyone's backstory. And it's kind of funny how you can get into the weeds of being like, oh yeah, this guy loves pizza, or that one loves long walks on the beach. And you try to make sure. And
Mhm.
after a while, it does get a little bit of a life of its own. So I totally get you when you say that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very interesting because sometimes, yeah, like I said, it feels like the book is writing itself and I'm just typing and seeing a movie. And sometimes I would reread my chapters and I would be like, oh my God, that's actually a really good chapter. Did I really wrote it? My biggest problem was that I'm not a native speaker.
Mhm.
And I was always worried, what people would think, what they would say.
So in the draft stage, it was in English still.
Everything is in English, yes.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was translated. I'm sorry. But so when you're
Oh, no
drafting another
worries.
language, that's pretty cool. Being able to write down another language. I couldn't do that either. That's so cool. Yeah.
Hopefully, when if I'll become successful writer, they would translate the book into like Russian language or other languages.
Hey, the very fact that you're here now and you're telling us about your process, I would deem you pretty successful. Because there's a lot of people out there who thinks about wrting a book and they never get around to doing it. But the fact you did it with a coherent plot and characters, I mean, give yourself a round of applause. I mean, come on, toot your own horn. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, uh, yeah. I mean, a lot of Americans used to ask me, did you really write this book? I'm like, yes, of course. Uh, and there was one actress was reading my chapter in on a stage, and there were like 250 people listening, and that chapter was the chapter about Chicago
Mhm.
that is really sad in the end, right? And all the people, not all probably, but most of the people were sobbing because it's so sad, and it felt so good. And then they asked me, like in the end, did somebody help you? I was like, of course not.
Yeah. Yeah, because
It's
I would say
so
everyone
nice.
thinks about doing a book and they think it's too hard. Were you in the crowd when you that the passage was being read?
I was in the crowd. Yes, I mean a friend who gathered all the people. He hired that actress, and but he wanted me to read that chapter, and I said, I don't know, I don't want to take this responsibility because I might be worried, and that it was much better when that actress read it. So yes, and I was sitting close to the stage together with the crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're proud or it was kind of like are you like a little sheepish? Like what was like the emotions going through that? Was it interesting? Was it kind of scary? Was it surreal? Like
In the beginning, I was kind of scared. I didn't want, like people say, like, what the hell is, is going on there?
yeah,
But in the end, when I saw, that's the biggest, amazing thing for me when I saw everybody's crying and sobbing, and it was, it was great. It was one of the most amazing feelings I ever had.
yeah. I've only had it happen with my poetry, but when someone brings life to your words, it is kind of like I birthed that. You know, it's like my kid. You
But it's really kind of scary, right? You write poetry, when people start judging you, some people judging you really like so badly. It's like,
know.
because your poems are pretty much like your kids,
Right. It's the nature of
right?
being an artist. Yeah. What is something that we as Americans get wrong about what it means to be an immigrant? Like, I feel like there's two camps. Either that ideal, you jump on a boat, you see the Statue of Liberty, and it's America, or like something a bit more
Right.
sinister than that. Obviously, your experience is only yours, but like, what are some things that we miss or don't really think about when we think about immigrants today?
A lot of Americans, they think, like I already said, that all these immigrants, they cross the border illegally, right, and stay illegal. And what they missed is, I don't know, it's more like this understanding. And yes, when they think, that it's so bad, and they totally miss this understanding uh, of everything. And they pretty much have uh, this feeling like every time they hear the word illegal, they think about some Mexican person who, crossed, and they really don't really, mainly, not everybody, but mainly, they don't really think that that person is educated, right? And they think that like a legal person only lives a legal life, and all of it. So basically, I wanted to show all American people that, you know, what's going on. And yeah, I wanted that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Uh,
So we're talking about the novel, The Illegal. The one thing I think that a lot of people don't think about, and I love the fact that your book kind of addressed in its own way, is the time. Like you can get into the United States illegally and have all the attention or intention, excuse me, of wanting to be a citizen, but it could take years for that process to be a
Oh my God,
thing.
yes.
And that really just becomes a drag on you as a person where you just are in this state of fear for so long.
Of course, yes, and they think that illegal people don't really want to live legally, right? And uh, basically, all illegal people, many of them, like among my friends, wanted to live a good, legal life, wanted to pay taxes and just, be like a normal person. And unfortunately, I also wanted to show how bad that process is, because in order to get a green card, you have to, once you're already legal, I was illegal for like a year and a half or something, and I had to marry somebody. Uh, and it's a long process, it takes half a year or so to get a green card, and then it takes like 5 years to become a citizen. And they don't know anything, basically. Most of the people don't know, but the process is really, really hard.
Yeah.
So,
And I commend anyone that decides to do that and stick with it. You know what I mean? It can be very
mhm.
discouraging. It's very easy to be like, oh, forget it. I'm just gonna give up. But the fact that people do stick with it's
A lot of
amazing.
people give up.
Hmm.
Yes, a lot of people give up, and I know a few people who basically came here, like let's say 10 years ago, and they still illegal, and they don't even think to legalize. And but to me, it's really sad.
Yeah. How'd you go about injecting some of the good times, some of the hope in the book? Now, not to say it was a drag the entire time, but like when you're trying to balance the actual story of life and making sure there's something positive to look forward to, how'd you make sure there was a balance there?
Mm. Well, I would go out with my friends, and it was yeah. I mean, I would go to everywhere pretty much, theater, everything. But yeah, that thought that I'm illegal was always in my head. And yeah, I don't know when I didn't even do anything like crazy.
Yeah.
So
What I liked about the book too is that you decided to really not just make it about that plot. It was definitely about growing as a person, about interacting with family, the desire to
right,
be loved and seen. It was everyone had their own needs beyond the thing of the destination, the plot
mhm,
goal of becoming, part of the family. It's
that's
pretty cool.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Thank you.
I am trying to learn how to be better at my own romance scenes as a writer. So it's always cool to see how
Mhm.
other authors do it. And I like the fact that there is a bit of like a force of nature aspect between your characters. Like I have my problems, you have your problems. Let's get together like two tornadoes and
Of
see if
course, yes.
see if it works out.
Totally, of course.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, yeah.
For those who have checked out the novel, have how has the feedback been? What are some things people have been saying when they had a chance to get back to you after reading it?
Mhm. Uh, what did you mean by that?
After some of your friends or family or some of your readers have read the book, what are some things they've told you
Uh,
or asked about or what for clarification on or feedback?
well, basically, they said that they liked it. I mean, I don't know if they're completely honest or just trying to make me feel better. And I mean, but everybody pretty much told me they all read the book and they told me that it's really great. Uh, so, well, I mean, it's really hard. The critics are really, really hard. When somebody says something really, really bad about you, it's painful, right?
Well, yeah, that was my next question. Did when you were writing the novel, were there anyone out there saying like, "Oh, you're still doing that thing? Like, why are you a writer? Like, how did you deal with the haters, as we say?"
Yeah, that's messed up, with haters and uh, but so far nobody told me anything bad like this. I mean, I don't know if it's honest or it's just like they wanted to tell me something good.
No,
So
I
yes,
mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing you don't have haters. I just want to know if they ever come across
but
there.
yeah, but like some it was a few years ago when I posted that the chapter about Chicago when everybody was crying. I posted it on a Facebook, and I had like so many different views. There were like people that really didn't like it, but most of the people actually liked it. But still, it's unpleasant when you receive this kind of response. And
What I like best
yeah,
about your art is that it's okay to be uncomfortable. I do think there was a YouTube video as this recording that has a chapter reading, and I had a chance to listen to that on YouTube as
mhm,
well. And it's like, yeah, I don't necessarily know this character's journey to be, yeah, we
mhm,
say becoming a legal immigrant, but it's about being accepted. You're being accepted at the most third populous country in the world, but you can definitely tell the feeling of not belonging is something that all of us can attest to at some level, which I thought was
of
pretty
course.
cool. You know what I mean? Even for citizens. So
Nice, thank you.
yeah, I mean, my pleasure. I do my research for the stories, for these interview shows. Would there be any room for a sequel with these characters here in the illegal?
For a sequel,
Yeah, is that possible? Is that a possibility?
uh, I'm not sure I know this word, sequel.
A second chapter, a second book.
Ah, the second book or
Yeah,
just the second chapter?
a second
Book.
book. Yeah.
Actually, I started writing a book. I wrote like maybe 50 uh, pages. And it's completely different. It's different genre, different everything. It's more like Haruki Murakami style. I don't know if you're familiar with his.
Wait, what does that mean? I'm kind of confused.
It kind of absurd. Uh, uh, it's basically it's about writer whose character started uh, telling that writer that they want to get out of this book,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
that's
think
pretty
it's
cool.
someone interesting.
Yeah,
Yes, and they start like telling the writer, and the writer didn't know what to do, and I'll definitely finish it. I think it's cool.
yeah, that's what very what do they call it, meta, like self-referential, like the characters know they're inside of. That's pretty cool. I love that. I hope to see that further down the line. If someone's listening right now to this show, Global Book Network, and they want to get a copy of The Illegal or learn more about
Mhm.
you or just learn about your story, how they go about doing that?
Of course, great. Yes,
Yeah, how can they
I
connect
mean,
with you?
I'd like a lot of people to to read this book. And how can they connect with me? Do you need my
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
number,
Well,
email?
how can they find you online? Are you on social media? Where can they buy a copy of the book?
It's been a while since I last posted something on Facebook, but I was told that you'll post it on all platforms and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Well, as of right now, the Illegal is available. I know for Amazon for sure. So make sure you check out
mhm,
Amazon.com, buy a copy of the Illegal, and you definitely, if you cannot connect with Nadia, you will eventually because that sequel might be coming down the pipe as well. Because it sounds like a very, very cool idea.
mhm.
Last thing before we wind this down today, is there anything else you want to share with your fans who may be tuning in right now?
You know, uh, for some reason, nothing comes to my mind right now, but I just want to, yeah, I would just be very happy if a lot of people read this book, and as I want to be a successful writer. And yes, pretty much, I would like to get a lot of fans.
Yeah. Well,
And
thank you
that's
so
what I
much.
want to share. Mhm. Yeah,
Well, thank you
of
so
course.
much for your time, Nadia. It means the world to me. We're talking about the illegal, but definitely I feel like this is going to be the start of something
Mhm.
bigger than that. And I appreciate you here on Global Book Network.